Is there
Okay.
something actually in your little Estus flask there? Because I've seen.
Nope.
Hunter,
Oh,
it
it's
doesn't
fucking-
even. It's
it's-
solid.
Why
Just
do you?
solid resin.
Why do you keep doing this bit then?
Because it's a good bit.
He's done
For
it
the
like
bit,
every
duh.
episode.
I know. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to this.
You don't. I do the intro. I say welcome back.
Wait,
What's
I
up,
already
guys?
did
It's
it.
your boy.
What's up, guys? It's your boy. We're back
What's
here
up,
for
YouTube?
for another exciting, arousing entry into our
Erotic.
game of
Our
Erotic.
most sensual episode yet.
our
Homoeroticism.
sexiest games of the decade, and we are going to be talking about the best
Special
moments-
Halloween episode.
Almost got it out. Almost said the category. Almost got it out there. We're going to talk about the best moment or sequence.
Yeah, we are.
Which moment or sequence is the gameplay version of story and writing, the same way that weapon or tool is the gameplay version of character. This is meant to highlight a gameplay thing that maybe wouldn't necessarily get brought up specifically when talking about a game as a whole, but maybe it does. This one we play really fast and loose with the rules. And I specifically in mind, while this is certainly not a requirement, I wanted to try to highlight games that I am not really talking about in any of my other categories, because while the games themselves might not be worth entire entries, I think that there are parts of them that I really would like to talk about and bring up. But Ryan,
Yes.
hit me with your number 5 moment or sequence.
My number. I gotta switch them real quick because I have
Ooh, I
decided
have a question real quick.
they're different.
Now, lay it on me.
I wanted to see if we want to get out ahead of this. Is there a moment in Control we're going to talk about at all?
Call it a
I'm going to
hunch.
talk about one, but
I'm
not
going to
that
talk a particular moment in Control, and it is that one.
Okay.
And
I'm
I
talking about one that's
legitimately
not that one.
will mute.
That's
if
what I
you
was
guys
going to
wanna
say.
talk about it.
Do we want to actually talk about it and have Sean mute, or do we want to just leave it and hope he finishes the game with it?
No.
You know what? I'm actually going to do you one better. I'm just going to change mine to something else. Because
I'm not
there's
changing mine.
you don't have to, but there's nothing else that we can say about that moment that we haven't already said in our previous game of the year. And
Okay, we'll just keep it. We'll keep it brief, and then hopefully Sean has witnessed it within 2 weeks.
yeah.
I really don't mind muting, just to be clear, but
No,
That's fine.
there's nothing that we can say. We've already all talked about that.
Because
Already.
we'll want to talk. We'll want to talk about it again once you've seen it anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
it'll come up in game of the year.
It's that good.
It'll
Okay,
come up.
That was all I wanted. I just wanted
Okay.
to make sure because I assume that it's going to overlap with people or might overlap. With
Yeah,
people.
I just put something else as mine for the sake of conversation.
also you mentioned this is the gameplay version of story, right? Are these supposed to be specifically gameplay focused? 'Cause
no,
it's
it doesn't have to be. It can just be a moment or a sequence. It could be a
Yeah.
level. It could
Okay.
be a feeling. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
cool
you
because
think
mine are
is-
going to be pretty far afield if they were.
It's fine. This
I
this
have
is maybe
one
the
that's-
loosest with the rules.
Yeah, I have one that definitely stretches the rules, but my other 4 are pretty on base.
So Ryan, what is your number 5?
Number 5.
Stretch me, daddy.
It is when, for the first time, you go to space in Wolfenstein. You go and you fight Nazis on the moon. And it comes so far out of left field for that game. Like, that game's crazy. It's already pretty over the top. But the second you hop in a fucking spaceship and you're flying to go fight Nazis on the moon, you're just in it.
You
So
can
it's when
dual wield
you-
sniper rifles and just fucking pop them.
Yeah. Nazis on the moon.
They carry a harpoon,
Yeah.
but there ain't no Jews, so
God.
Start
Start over.
Anyways,
It's already too hot.
yeah, it
It's
is.
the middle. It was a joke. It's actually the middle of summer.
So my number 5
July, guys.
is I could honestly give about, I think, one of any maybe 13 or 14 different levels from this game as my moment or sequence entry for it. But mine is Hokkaido from Hitman. It is my favorite level across all of the new ones that they've done. It is a spa in Japan that operates kind of outside of laws or ethics, so that people can get some really crazy experimental shit done to them. And you're tasked with
A foot massage
You're-
with
you're-
other feet.
you're tasked with killing your former boss who's getting a heart transplant of like a reversed heart where the valves are on the wrong side. So it's like a super hard to get organ and he needs it right now. But they drop you into your room and you have no weapons, no nothing. Like you cannot take anything into the level with you. It's all just kind of procure on site, and it gives it it's my absolute favorite challenge of the game of truly having to kind of start naked and then go from there.
What's the advantage of a reverse heart? Does it like suck the blood from your body?
No, it's a legitimate medical condition where some people are born with their organs reversed on the wrong sides. It's fairly rare, but your organs are just on the it's like it's mirrored. It's a real thing that they then factor in.
My mom was a mirror.
But it also has like really nice little subplots in there. Like there's a recurring character throughout the new Hitman called Helmut Kruger. He is a fashion model who looks exactly like Agent 47, and then they play that for a lot of laughs.
Just with face paint.
Yeah. There's a person in this spa who got cosmetic surgery to look exactly like this guy, Helmut Kruger.
And then he gets mad at you.
So yeah, like he sees you there and he gets really mad that you got the same treatment as him, but you can also knock him out, steal his outfit, steal his face bandages, sneak into his like meeting with his doctor to get his bandages off, and then like the doctor takes bandages off, and the doctor's just like, oh my god, it's perfect. Like there's no scars, there's nothing. He healed perfectly, and he's like, I need to go sit down. Like this is the best work I've ever done. I'm gonna win a Nobel Prize. Like, and it's just a lot of it's the humor that Hitman does so well as being, I think, the most functionally gameplay wise the most interesting out of all of the levels, and all of the levels are pretty good. But yeah, Hokkaido, the final level of the first Hitman.
Yeah. The first new Hitman.
Yeah. Hitman 1, 2.
Jason, hit us with your number 5.
My number 5 is Funfair Fever from Cuphead.
Why?
Which one is that?
That one's really fun. It's
a fun fair.
I think it's the
only one that
first
Jason actually beat.
I thought it was the roller coaster one that you can't beat.
No. I think it's the first run and gun on the second island.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know the one you mean.
And I just in general really enjoyed the run and guns from that game. And that one, it took me a shitload of tries, but it was one where I didn't get mad because I felt like I was like progressing and learning how to do it instead of just getting shat on repeatedly, like all of the other levels on the second island. But that one was fun. Just that it's the one that starts out with the trampolines and balloons.
I don't know if I ever made it that far in the game.
Yeah, because game's fucking hard unless you're Hunter.
Game's easy.
I need to finish that.
It's a good game.
Good
Good level. Sean, what is your number 5 moment or sequence?
So I think we can all agree that on January 18th, 2020, a Saturday, just like any other, at around 11:30 p.m., there was
Zane's birthday.
a moment.
No,
Is it?
it's close.
Okay. There was a moment that really played with the form and changed multiple medias at one time, and that was when I made a really good joke in Quiplash XL while playing a game with some of my friends out here. I got a full Quiplash. Everybody voted for mine, and we were all proud of me for one fleeting moment before the world turned around.
Joke.
And so, really, I don't want to like. If I repeated it, it wouldn't be funny. But
so no one believes you.
But this really extends to any time like something
Getting
is
a
really
Quiplash.
landed
Yeah,
in a
just getting a Quiplash is great.
No. It needed the preamble.
I think another really good Quiplash moment is I remember I did this one where I made a joke and then it didn't get any like laughs, and then everyone got it after the fact, and it was fucking devastating to me.
Yeah.
It truly like because it's a game full of like, depending on the group, mild laughs. So when something actually genuinely really funny happens, it's it truly is. It's like the most iconic party game of the last couple of years in that way.
We'll see.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Dash has big ideas about like Among Us.
Casual party.
Man, I still haven't played Among Us, and I really feel like we should sometime.
Yeah, I feel like
It's-
this group would be
tried it
great
yet.
for it.
It's free.
I thought
Too
it was
much.
like $5.
Yes.
It's
$5.
$5 on PC, free on mobile.
So
I
it's
ain't playing on
$5.
mobile. I
I'm
need
literally
people to
on my
know
phone.
I'm a real gamer.
but I've never
Yeah.
like turned the app on.
I'd like to play it. But yeah, so yeah, the Quiplash, getting a Quiplash, very good moment or sequence.
Specifically mine though. Mine was really good.
I've seen better.
Put yourself in the moment.
It's no Madverse City, but
I mean,
few things are. It's no buying a T-shirt of a joke you made and then wearing that T-shirt in public.
that's true.
Sauce.
Matt, what's your number 5?
Well, so first I have to do a shout out to number 6.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Ah.
Oh,
Michael 2.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the end of that.
Michael 2.
Thanks for the screen share, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you forgot to show the sound.
It was a GIF.
Oh.
It's an extremely useful GIF. Anytime anyone ever says the word two.
My number 5 moment is showing someone Baba is you.
Yeah, the great
That's
moment.
really good.
I thought
It's
you
a-
were gonna
it's-
say
it's-
showing someone the Peggle 2 gif.
That would have been good. It was a tie.
I
but
remember.
yeah, just when you showed that to Jason and I, it
'Cause
blew my fucking brain
it's the
apart.
first. It's the first level, and while I
first
definitely
level.
don't think that the game like continues to capitalize on that level of openness, it's like you solve it the obvious way, and then it's like, okay, now hand me the controller again, and then you just fucking you blow their mind.
yeah. That game is my like even more so than Cuphead is my I'm so disappointed that I can't progress in it.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't so fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Like I would almost say that
Save
it's
some
a
dumb bitch juice for the
misconnection.
rest of us.
Like it gets,
I'm too
it
busy
gets-
being a
it gets-
genius to be able to relate.
It gets way too hard way too quickly that I only get to see like 10% of the game unless I want to just cheat, which I refuse
Yeah.
to do.
I will
Yeah.
say, I do think it's a game similar to Oberdin in that, like, it really, eventually, if you throw yourself at the level long enough, I do think you'll find the solution.
I managed to get the
ton of
not secret
time.
ending of that game, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
I'm on the last secret world, and I am stuck.
Yeah, it's like I know I'm not going to get there. I scraped and clawed my way just to hit credits.
Like I would
Hunter-
almost call Baba is you a missed connection because I didn't finish it, and I
Yeah,
know that I
that-
never will.
It was on like my like
Without
most
cheating.
disappoint. It was on my like most disappointing of 2019, I think, because I'm too stupid to enjoy it.
Hunter, what is your number 5? Are you too stupid to play it?
No, I wish I was though.
Honey
'cause
Pop.
It's not from a good game. There's that bit in Metal Gear Solid 5 where you're quarantining all your soldiers and whatnot, and then suddenly you like lose radio contact with the quarantine ward. So you have to go in and find out what happened. And you get these goggles that show everybody that is infected, and you just have to like everyone in the building is infected. So you just have to methodically go through every room, killing your own soldiers until you make it to the bottom where there's a crowd of them like trying to keep one dude from escaping, and they all see you and they're like, oh, let's let boss decide. And they all just like stand there and they salute you and they start humming the Peace Walker theme, and they're like, we live and die by your order, boss. And they're all infected, so you just have to shoot them all in the head. And it's a really good moment, but that game kind of sucks, and 2, for me, it was all of my high tier soldiers, so every time I was shooting somebody, I would lose like 3 levels of research or whatever. So it set me back a lot.
He's already a demon. Yeah, that's one of the better parts of an otherwise mediocre game. Like that game
That's why
does do
Metal Gear
some-
Survive happened, is a lot of people just refused to shoot all their soldiers.
They Metal Gear
There you go.
survived.
I forgot that game existed.
Don't you own it?
I did. I don't know if I
I
still do.
You're
Probably on
responsible
3
for
consoles.
one of their 10 sales.
I got it as a
He's
buy
probably
2
responsible for
free
more than
thing.
one of their 10
No,
sales.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
There it is.
And
don't
pull
think
out your
I-
PS4 copy.
I don't have a PS4 copy. I specifically
You
got
don't
that
have a
one on
PS4?
Xbox because I have all my real Metal Gear games on PlayStation consoles. Ryan, with that, what is your number 4 moment or sequence?
I figured I would stick with a theme for my 4 and 5. It's the movie tryout from Wolfenstein 2,
Great fucking moment and sequence.
where you dress up as an actor who you don't really look like, but you just put a mustache on, and people are like, "That's him." And you do a movie tryout for Hitler with Ronald Reagan, also trying out for the part. And
what is the part? What is the part you're auditioning for?
Oh, you're trying out for BJ Blazkowicz, Terror Billy.
Oh, and it's on Venus. You forgot to say that.
And you're on Venus. There's so many layers to it. It's hard to remember which ones. But yeah, it's at one point you're reading the script and you write it down on your hand. Which when I was playing the game, I was actually trying to memorize it, so I sat there for a while looking at it, and then none of it mattered. But yeah, he writes it on his hand, and it's messed up, and it's so good.
Well,
It's got a secret ending in it.
Yeah, it has an achievement that speaks volumes about your moral character if you did or did not get it without help.
Plus, there's they do a reading, and like Ryan said, parts of the lines are messed up, so you have to guess. And the whole time, BJ just looks down and opens his hands a little bit, and is like, "I will kill you and eat the body." And then he just closes his hand and looks back up at them.
He's so charming.
And then you're supposed to do a fight scene, like a fake one, and you actually just kill somebody, and that's how you get the part.
Yeah, and Hitler loves it. He pisses himself, falls over. It's great. He shoots Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
So my number 4, it was going to be the control thing, but honestly, I'm okay with it being this. This was the hardest moment to cut from my list at my number 6, but playing through The Quiet Man with Ryan.
Oh, that was on my list.
It genuinely, it's not just any one moment from that game, but playing through it with Ryan and just it is the closest I have come to reliving the high of the first Ishida concert, where I'm not entirely sure if it actually happened or not, or if it was a fever dream.
So to add context to that, Dash and I went to a local nerdcore rap concert that seemingly went on for 16 hours.
Yeah, it was it was minimum unexaggerated 6 hours long.
Yeah, and they just kept bringing people on stage and it was just at a certain point you just kind of accept it, and it was crazy. I feel like it started at 3 p.m. and ended at the next 3 p.m.
Yeah, we got home at 3 a.m. It was fucking wild, and nothing
people
about
just
it
yelling songs about Dragon Ball Z, and just who knew what was going on.
Kamehameha, motherfucker's about to die. But anyway, The Quiet Man is, and I genuinely mean this. It is the Room of video games.
Yeah.
It is put out by Square Enix. It got E3 time, and it is profound.
It's made is it made by Human Head?
Oh my god, it is made by Human Head. Oh my fucking god.
A developer with really good pedigree just made this fucking bizarre FMV cutscene
death beat 'em up thing. It is a profound game that everyone should play at some point. It's on PC and PlayStation. It is so profoundly bad. I have no idea how it got made, but though it loops all the way back around to being amazing. It's like The Room. If you can enjoy something that is just absolutely dog shit, like Ryan and I did, while it continued to up the dog shit the entire time we were playing. You beat the game, like Ryan and I finished it, And the whole crux of the game is you're playing as a deaf person. So it will like selectively and without any logical reason or making sense within the lore, stop all the sound in a scene. So you don't understand what's happening from like part of the plot. And if that sounds like it's kind of a cool mechanic, it is a kind of a cool mechanic that was executed.
They don't fully commit to it.
Yeah, if it was executed with even an ounce of nuance or like believability, it would be really cool. But when you beat the game, you unlock sound.
You unlock loud man.
You unlock the loud man. And when you play through the game with sound, it makes even less sense because it's so poorly goddamn written.
Yeah,
And-
so they do this thing where it's like you finish it and it's like, if you want to know what really happened, play through again. Which also, they released the sound thing a week later, so Dash and I had to wait to play this 2-hour-long
and we were
game
on
through
pins
again.
and needles the entire time. We needed to know what happened.
Because at one point, like a fucking ghost shows up and possesses your dude, and it's like, oh, what could that be? I don't know. The sound didn't explain that part because it's a fucking ghost.
Yeah, it's profound, it's amazing, and it's genuinely like one of the most magical like not since playing Bubsy 3D with Ryan did I have such a good time.
There's a
playing
part
the
in it
game.
where this kid's mom dies and the cop is there like comforting him, and then you get to the sound part and you realize it's his dad saying, it's your fault your mom died, but he can't hear him. It's so
Yeah,
oh my
your
god,
dad-
it's so
it's-
fucking bad.
Jason, you need to play it when you get a PlayStation. It's so good. But anyway, that's you just zoned out that whole fucking time. It's like Jason was Dane. Jason was Dane the whole time.
You started talking about a game I'd never heard of, so
He just tuned out. Okay. Well, that's fine. Playing Quiet Man with Ryan is my moment, or is my number 4 moment or sequence in lieu of the control thing.
Look,
you're
Jason.
talking about Quiet Man. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I was gonna say you're the wild card, Jason. You'd probably love.
You'd love Quiet Man.
No, I watched you play Quiet Man. That game's stupid.
No, fuck you. That game rules.
I was gonna have a Quiet Man thing on here, but it ended up losing. There's a part where you just randomly parkour off someone's head in
Mom's
like
Dead parkour.
in this like played super straight, like we're trying to be high art action thing. There's a point where you just parkour off someone's head and it like zooms in on the dude's face as your hand is like
Completely blank, unanimated expression.
Oh, we could talk about it all day. Sorry.
Yeah,
Jason,
Jason, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is anytime anything goes wrong while playing either of the Overcooked games.
Yeah.
In person with a full team of 4 is
Mhm.
peak Overcooked. Like if it's really like specifically if somebody combines 2 ingredients that aren't supposed to go together, so that whole dish is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you find out who your real friends are and what people really think about you when you play Overcooked.
Just the amount of yelling is so wonderful.
When
Like
we
not since
determined-
Mario Party.
And when we determine certain people aren't allowed to play with us because they're bad.
My most frustrating thing about Overcooked is where we were hanging out and we started playing Overcooked, and then I had to go work a shift at Subway, and then you guys didn't stop playing Overcooked, and I came back hours later and you were at the end of the game, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't want to play Overcooked.
I regret nothing.
Oh man, that
We
space
got
part
this
though,
system
it was
down.
worth getting to it.
Overcooked 2 has online and it's on Game Pass. I would still love to play it, but I think you lose something by not being in person.
Yeah,
'cause
there's a
I
part
own it,
in
but we still have never
in
played it online.
Overcooked 2. There's a part in Overcooked 2. I think it's only in the first level,
Mhm.
but you're doing your thing in a hot air balloon basket, and then the balloon crashes into a restaurant and changes what the level looks like.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
get new
that's
dishes that you have to make.
Yeah, that's some
Overcooked 2
high.
it's wild shit compared to the first one.
Oh yeah,
I would still it's like I think we never end up playing it for some reason, but well, I mean also pandemic now, but also I would still love to play more Overcooked.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, if multiple people downloaded and played it, I would try to play. We've never even tried to play it online.
It's just
I'd
like
absolutely try it.
I feel like if you're playing Overcooked just to like beat it and finish the levels like not in person, like that's not right.
It's not the
Like
same.
you're playing it to yell at your friends.
And you need
Mhm.
at least 3 or 4. It loses a lot of the fun playing just with
Yeah,
2.
3 is the minimum. It's like playing Commander, really.
no.
Magic.
Sean, what is your number 4 moment?
My number 4 moment, and so
If this is from Oberdin, I swear to motherfucking God.
no. There's no Oberdin on my list.
He actually hates that game.
I do want as many people as will hear this, so the 5 of you guys, to please try out Oberdin. But my
I love
number
that
4
game. I
is
told you to play it. Just
Super
talk to the
Mario
other guys.
Odyssey, Darker Side of the Moon. I was stuck between this and the reward for getting 999 hats, but the final
Hats?
level.
Moons,
Hats,
you mean?
sorry,
Fake
damn it.
gamer.
Oh my god!
999 cappies.
The reward for getting 999 moons is there's a big hat on top of the castle, and that's it. That's the only reward. But I didn't want to go with 2 slightly jokey answers in a row. The final level, which is just this gauntlet of every type of challenge from each of the kingdoms of the game. It's super long. There's no checkpoints. It starts with a boss fight. It's great. I loved it. It took me forever to get through, but it was so worth it. It's great.
Yeah.
I like that the Mario games do that. They always have that kind of just last hard-ass level.
Yeah, like the one
for
from
the people to put in the work.
The one from, I don't remember if it was Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2, where you have
Galaxy Brain.
one hit, and from Super Mario Galaxy Brain is God, it's one of the last galaxies. You do it with a comet, so you only get one hit, and it's just a super long gauntlet. I love those. That's my favorite part of any of the 3D Marios. Yes, that's mine.
Yeah, Matt, what do you have as your number 4?
My number 4 is when you first walk into Snowdin Town in Undertale.
Boop, 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 boop.
The song starts playing, and all of the scenery kind of changes, and I think that's the point where it really opens up, and you kind of find out what kind of game it actually is.
Truly the most
you know,
starting town music possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If
I
you've
wanna
never
fuck
heard
with
of a
it, dude.
video game, you could still say this is the starting town music from a video game.
Yeah. But it just, I love that moment and the feeling when that music first starts playing and the snow starts to fall. It's good shit.
God,
Hunter, what's
what a good ass game.
You pick a snowy town as one of your best moments or sequences.
It is on a mountain.
Best moment or sequence number 1, Steep. Game.
Hunter, what is your snow-related number 4?
I mean, I guess it's technically snow related.
Look at with the ratio I've got right now, I'll take it.
This is only for you and me, Dash, but it's Chuzzle Deluxe.
Chuzzle Deluxe.
And Risk of Rain 2. It's it really only happens when you have the artifact that gets rid of chests. So monsters drop items, but that means more shrines can spawn in the level. And there's one shrine called Shrine of the Mountain that doubles the amount of bosses you have to fight, but also doubles the rewards from those bosses. If you have the
mountain is steep.
It is. If you and each one, so you can hit 3 Shrine of the Mountains and fight 6 bosses at once.
And then get more rewards.
Yeah, and get more rewards. We only started calling it Chuzzle Deluxe because I noticed somebody on my friend list had started playing Chuzzle Deluxe when we were in the middle of a game, and I mentioned it as we were hitting a Shrine of the Mountain.
Risk of Rain has massive it's one more run energy, but also the runs take an hour. So it was 3 in the fucking morning. We are deadbeat tired, but don't want to start playing and are just shit posting as we are running through the motions of playing this game, but still just having a great time. Doing Chuzzle, the energy of Chuzzle Deluxe is massive Xbox 360 late night self factor energy. And it is, I'm nostalgic for the spirit that Chuzzle Deluxe embodies. That's a good pick. And I will back you up on Chuzzle Deluxe. It's a vibe.
It's a way of life.
It's a way of life. Ride or fucking die. And also, a thing about a Shrine of the Mountain is you never don't activate a Shrine of the Mountain. It doesn't matter how bad you're doing. It doesn't matter how much it's going to kick your ass. You activate it 100% of the time.
You're on the first stage and you have no items, you better believe I'm hitting that fucking mountain.
Oh, yeah. Like seeing one is like a moment of jubilation, but then when you see your second one on a level, that's when you're into the real shit. It's always
That's when
welcome.
those chisels show up, and then they get deluxe when that third one comes by.
Fuzzle cheese.
Ryan, what is give me your Astropop Deluxe, your number 3 best moment or sequence.
Insane
Yeah.
Aquarium.
Sean, you're gonna need to mute real quick.
All right. 1 second. I'm gonna go pee.
You just peed. How do you pee this much?
It's
Brian David
He
Gilbert looking ass
lied.
bitch. Curved cock motherfucker.
it's when we all dunked on Sean. That's my moment. I think this moment is pretty indicative of the generation as it is. It's the one moment that I feel like made a lot of people pay attention to a game. It won a lot of awards for what I think is really only this moment in the game, but it's the Goo Man sequence from Inside. Those last like 15 minutes of Inside are just, it makes it all worth it. Like it's just so weird and crazy.
When I first did that, like literally my jaw dropped, and like I was just kind of like my mouth was agape, like like it.
Just, what the fuck is happening? And then Real Doll made one of the Goo Man. That was a good moment too.
What if you were a testicle with legs?
Yeah.
I often wonder that.
Well, have I got the game for you?
Yeah, that's a good moment.
Called Limbo.
We good to continue? Yeah, I guess we're. Well, I mean, he's back, so I guess we're good now.
We got a signal. I think he's still
Alright.
muted.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, you're good. It's
It was
Dash's turn.
Control, right?
Yeah,
No.
Wait, what
It's
game?
near.
Oh, okay. I'm still good. I'm still glad I missed that. There's gonna be something like Chuzzle Deluxe.
Chuzzle Deluxe has a rich
Sand
back.
Aquarium spoilers. So my number 3 is much like it's in the same vein of like someone playing Baba Is You for the first time. It's one of those moments where I have to just sit there and stare at another person, waiting for them to stumble upon this, because if I tell them to do it, it defeats the purpose. My number 3 moment or sequence is Like a Billion Fruits.
Okay.
That was part of this
Um,
generation.
Yeah,
Fuck. It didn't show up on the Wikipedia list, but
Yeah,
it
'cause,
would
I mean,
be.
it's-
Well,
Hey, Bubsy showed up. So
that's wild that Bubsy showed up. Everyone here is familiar with Like a Billion Fruits, right?
No.
Okay,
oh,
then
fuck. You can't talk about
I
it then.
could have sworn Sean was, but
Hey,
that's
I mean,
cool.
can I ask what I think it's from?
What do you think it's from?
Is it from Frog Fractions?
It is from
Yeah.
Frog Fractions.
I've
Okay,
never
I just
played
don't
that game.
remember.
Jason, you
Frog
should
Fractions
really
came out in
play Frog.
2012.
Fuck.
Well, I guess you got to change that control one.
I'm gonna change it to
I'm gonna take
Ghost
a
Mode.
shit.
I'm gonna change it to Ghost Mode from Bubsy3D.com.
Cool.
Because it is the same vein and it has an equally wild moment, but it's not as good for watching someone try to discover, admittedly. But when Ryan and I figured out what Ghost Mode was, profound shit.
I mean, that whole game is fucking profound.
The boys are
Like
back
that
in
one
town.
and Frog Fractions get shown off.
I think Frog
Often.
Fractions 2 is this within the time frame.
Yeah, but Frog Fractions 2 sucks, kind
It
of.
doesn't have any good moments in
Frog Fraction 2 is a collection of weird prototypes, which admittedly are really interesting in some of the coolest games I've ever seen designed, such as Active Time Battle Chess, or
Have maybe put that game out and then have Davey read and narrate over it.
yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I'll just switch mine to Ghost Mode from Bubsy3D.com. Even the Bubsy3D.com DLC is really good, but
So good.
So, listener, take your pick of meme games.
yeah, it's
Which
art.
Undertale do you like?
It's art, baby. With that, I will pass
You guys
to
believe
Jason
it
for his
Smash
number
Brothers
3.
and Undertale?
Okay, my number 3 is just playing Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Climby Bear Suit Edition.
That's not the name of that game.
Yeah, you want
Yeah,
to?
Jason, what's that game really called?
Climby Bear Suit.
There you
And
go.
No, I mean the full title. What franchise is it a part of?
I don't know. I had to ask Hunter what the name of the game was.
I will never forget when you referred to it out of the blue, apropos of literally nothing. You called it Super Street Fighter 4 Climby Bear Suit Edition. And that has
It's the
stuck with
reason
me.
we all own these fucking Kigurumis.
But no, that if I was gonna get specific, my favorite level might be on top of the semi trucks
That's easily the best level.
because that one.
So good.
But man, scaffolding or whatever.
Ferris wheel's good also.
Ferris
Ferris
wheel's
wheel.
great. But
Oh, the
Elevator
first time the
scaffolding-
full Ferris wheel falls apart is wonderful.
Gang Beast is
Spoilers.
great.
The one where you're on the window washer elevator things. That one's really
Yeah.
good. But no, that game is enjoyable every single time, and I'm never done playing.
The first time that any of us figured out how to climb
Oh,
was that was like cavemen discovering fire.
Prometheus came down and taught man how to climb a wall.
One of my favorite moments is still when we
Kiki
were
delivery service.
Yeah, Kiki. When
Yeah.
I grabbed a wire and I punched it, expecting it to crash one of the halves of the thing, but instead it glitched out and the wire I was holding broke off and started floating. So I was floating with it.
And that you can replicate that consistently.
That
What a
game,
Well, you
Great
could.
game.
They fixed it now, but
that game is just stupid and fun, and that's all it needs to be.
I have tried playing Human Fall Flat and then the moving version of it, and they just don't hit the same. Like Gang Beasts is the OG, the real one, and it's still the best at that kind of weird physics thing.
Like, Gang Beasts is a game that I feel like you can't teach anybody how to play
Because nobody knows how to play it.
because the controls don't make any sense.
'Cause everything's just on like weird random timers. Like you knock somebody out and it's like they could be out for 10 minutes or they could be out for like a second.
Like
Well, it's like grab and punch are kind of the same button, but you just have to press it differently. But that's not how video games work.
there's a
but it is
kick
still-
that might do something.
Also, how
Things
some,
contextual for arms down or arms up.
It's like it is a testament to bad game design being great game design.
some of the costumes make your headbutt better. It's just
Yeah, and headbutt is by like no questions the most efficient way to do anything.
Yeah, Gang Beasts is just great. Oh yeah, I'm narrator. Sean,
I forgot whose turn it
do
was.
the thing.
So as we all know, there's two games I've been talking about a lot, and we'll continue to talk about a lot. That being Oberdin and Bennett Foddy. And Oberdin, I want everybody to
Getting
play.
over it.
Getting over it with Bennett Foddy. I don't think
Getting
I'm
over it is the
recommending
monster.
anyone. And as such, would anyone mind if I spoiled the ending of Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy?
I already
Not
know
at
it.
all.
Finally get over it.
So when you finally get to the top of the mountain, there's the credits and everything, and then you enter a chat room. And when you enter that chat room, Bennett Foddy gets a text on his phone saying that somebody entered the chat room. And for the first 4 months the game was out, so I actually missed out on it. But he would hop into the chat room and be like, "Hey, thanks for playing my game," and you could talk to the man who's been talking to you the entire time. You're you have a live chat with this guy, or if you play it on mobile, you get his email. You get like a secret email that you can email Bennett Foddy.
You
And
pop in and you write ASL.
Exactly. At this point, it's mostly shit like that. It's just all a bunch of people climbing in 5 minutes. But I was very surprised that would be the ending. He didn't pop in the first time I climbed the mountain, but the people who played across the initial recently released the game, after hearing this guy talk to you for this whole time, got to chat with the man. I thought that was super cool.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
I have no idea.
That game is a very complete yet simple package. I was between either that or spoiling the secret ending of The Witness, but I don't want to spoil the secret ending of The Witness.
I've already seen the secret ending of The Witness.
How
Ryan's the
tight
only person
is
who
that
cares about
package,
that.
Sean?
It's a TLP. It's a certified TLP.
That
That's
is
how I
my
That's
look
up to
word.
Dash to decide.
That is my fucking word. Don't be word. My culture is not your prom dress.
Oh my god. Here we
Matt,
go.
what is your number 3?
So I need to ask you guys a question. Do you think that Philip is a spoiler?
Wait, what?
What'd you say?
Maybe.
Philip from Control.
I can mute. Let me
Is that
mute.
a spoiler? Yeah, mute for 1 second.
Give me the sign when it's time for me to come back in.
I don't even fucking remember who Philip is.
Me
John,
neither.
Okay.
Philip is the
He's
fridge
fridge
guy.
duty.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't confident.
Oh yeah,
Would you consider that a spoiler?
yeah, probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
a
does
little
But
we
bit.
can go
I
ahead
think
and
we've
talk
already
about it
talked
because
about
Sean's
it
not
as
in
the
here.
thing.
Yeah, he's muted anyway. I on my list I wrote down every interaction with Philip the Fridge Watcher.
I love
Every
it.
time you talk to that fucking guy, it's just a roller coaster ride. And I thoroughly
I
enjoy
feel
it.
so sorry for him.
Me too. It's like it's symbolism for working within a corporation.
People have tried to get me to watch Doctor Who a number of times, and every single time they always tell me to watch the episode with the angel statues. And
Mhm.
I think, and they're like, oh, this is so scary and stuff. The fridge is infinitely more terrifying than the stupid angel statues. That fridge, like, the more I think about the horror of fridge duty, and moreover, the complete lack of concern everyone else shows for poor Philip, that is some horror right there.
Sean saw us do it.
So is that all? Are we good?
I think
that's,
so.
That's all.
Okay. I'm
Hunter,
back.
what's your
Okay, so Matt, go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah.
You were so excited, Sean.
The gun is your wife. Hunter, what's your number 3?
Sean, you care about near spoilers?
All right, here we go again. You guys know the sign. Actually, I'll be right
Hi,
back.
Sean.
I gotta check out this banana bread that's cooking.
He has to go pee.
Go Pete Taylor.
Go
Specific-
Pete Cunningham.
It's the one I'm talking about specifically is like the start of Route C and D, where just everything goes to shit immediately, and it's just like 2B is in the little flying thing in space shooting shit, and then it just like cuts in between credits, like presented by Platinum Games, and then it just keeps cutting in and out of shit happening. Because like I could have mentioned ending E, but I just really like that bit.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the whole like A and B more or less kind of being two sides of the same story, and then a whole C route being, and everything beyond it just being continuation. I thought was a really
C route
cool.
is almost where that game starts. Like
Yeah,
that's like where that game
exactly.
turns onto fucking real shit. But yeah, like that's when like again some of the best story beats happen in that kind of. We didn't give you a sign, and yet you still put it back on.
Okay, he's good for
Like
now.
some of the best
I shook
story
my
beats happen during that
head
little
at him, so he
chain.
knew.
I thought about putting a near moment or sequence in there, but I couldn't decide which one, so I did none of them.
Plus, there's after that bit when you're playing as 9S, you can find 2B's little crashed ship thing, and she left a last recording for him, but that's completely optional.
What a profoundly good game. Ryan, oh yeah. We need not relitigate that game. Ryan, what's your number 2?
This one this one kept changing. I rewrite a lot of these as we go, but I felt like I really needed to put a fun little personal moment on this one. My number 2 moment was when Dash kissed all the boys in Beyond Two Souls. So this game that I would say by all accounts probably isn't that great.
Ryan,
It has like a secret multiplayer mode in it. You're supposed to play it single player, but we played it where I'm a ghost, or I'm the ghost. Dash is the Ellen Page, and we went in and we argued with each other like I was a ghost that was tethered to him, telling him not to kiss the boys, dash him to the party and kiss the boys, and then I burn the house down. Like, that's just how you do.
That's how it goes.
Ryan,
in Beyond Two Souls.
My time playing Beyond Two Souls with you is generally like one of the happiest and most fun times I have ever spent with you out of these other categories that have largely been my playing games with you. Beyond Two Souls is a magical experience. I had such a fantastic time with it, and even though we were playing it directly the way it was definitely not meant to be played, I think it elevates that game to higher standards.
I think that's how it should be played. I think
that's a
how
PS3
it's truly meant to be played. Yeah, but it's fine. We played it after the Xbox One came out.
Okay.
Pass and lose, baby.
Well, now that the precedent's been set, somebody better have their best one and be a nice sentimental moment with me.
Like Beyond, like I think of a lot of
My
the games
number
that we
one
played
moment
together.
was sometime in January where Sean got a quiplash.
Yeah, Sean's big joke.
I heavily considered putting our Dark Souls run on this playthrough, or on my list of my favorite moments, but I think that Quiet Man kind of helps encapsulate that. But genuinely, out of all the games we've ever played together, Beyond Two Souls is the one I've enjoyed the most, the one that's going to stick with me the longest.
See,
Me too.
Zane and I were doing pretty much that same setup, but the version we had, the disc was scratched or something because it kept freezing in the same exact spot.
Where you're kissing a boy.
Right
No,
before
it
your
was
lips
after.
touch.
It was after the boy kissing, but that ended our playthrough of it very quickly.
There was a point where it didn't load something correctly.
Oh my god,
And
it was
I was in a
frightening.
completely dark area with Ellen Page. I forget her character. I want to call her Ellie, but I know that's Last of Us. Where Ellen Page is just T-posing in this dark environment with a bunch of other T-posing like models. And
Yeah,
I can't.
it's after Shiwasame dies.
Yeah.
Shiwasame.
Wasame! And it's like,
and you're in a cave, and the cave, like it fades to black, but you can still kind of see the outline of the cave, and in it there are just a bunch of character models, like completely black figures, black on black, just T-posing in the
and
background.
I did not know if it was real or not, and it went on way too long and had me like straight up like terrified.
It was
Like, something about it
frightening.
was very visceral and frightening to me.
Clear
And
detail.
given I get scared pretty
Damn it,
easily by
Sean.
stuff, but I had a profoundly good time with Beyond Two Souls. I think that was goddamn iconic, and it can never be replicated. We always
Yeah.
want to do the run where we switched roles, but I think knowing about that game going into it, we can never recapture the magic.
Yeah,
Good
so it'd be
shit.
pretty uncool of you if that wasn't also your number two.
It's his number one.
So my number two, Dark Side of the Moon, retire bitch. My number two is Champions Road from Super Mario 3D World. I like it for all of basically the same reasons that Sean said about Darkest Side of the Moon, but I think Champions Road, I've said this since I played it, it is the best single 3D platformer level ever created. Full stop, no questions about it. I think that Darkest Side of the Moon is fine, like in isolation, but when having to put up against Champions Road, which is on a game that nobody motherfucking played because it was on Wii U, but is coming to Switch soon, I really hope that more people are going to be able to play, because yeah, it's that final Mario level of the game, and it's everything to the test. I spent like literally 4 hours trying to beat this level. It has the best Mario song as the background music for, it's a remix of Gusty Garden Galaxy.
Oh, then it's not the best. It's not Vanilla Dome, so
Out of your mind. Gusty Garden Galaxy blows the fucking shit out of any other Mario song.
boom.
But
It's the first video game track that has a drum fill in it. So
Is that
I mean,
true?
you're wrong. I'm pretty sure.
Huh, I didn't know that actually. But Champions Road, it is so it's way harder than Dark Side of the Moon. It is just ball-bustingly difficult, no checkpoints. It's like a 10-minute level, and it just throws every single fucked up thing that they can push the limits of 3D World at you with. And it's so fucking good. And when 3D World comes out soon on Switch, I'm really glad people are going to get a chance to play, because I think it's fucking profound, and it's sad that it was stuck on that game.
Matt, your cat changed color.
Ah!
No, Jason, you got to do a thing where you pass Luna to him, and then he.
Here, Jason, take him.
All right,
Yeah.
that reminds me, my counterpoint for why my pick is better is Super Mario 3D World is a game for cat boys.
Yeah. And
Ah,
yes.
Game for furries.
Yes.
Bow. Bow down. Ow.
Jason,
Bow.
what is your second
Bow.
best moment or sequence of the previous generation?
Are we having Sean hide himself from near stuff?
Yes. All right. Give me the,
I think the sign changed.
Okay, my second,
Sean never uses the same safe word twice.
my number 2 moment or sequence was, it's towards the beginning. It's at the end of the desert mission where you're chasing the dude and you chase him through the little like falling down city.
Of course it
Jason,
is.
is your moment or sequence robots fucking?
And that like that was I think that was in my first it was in my first session of the game, or maybe my second. I might have just done like the prologue and then turned it off for the night the first time I played it. But I was still kind of lukewarm on it at that point. And that was the moment when I was like, this game's fucking weird. I gotta see what the relevance of that whole bit was. Because there was nothing so far in the game that led me to something that just dumb like that would happen. Just walking into the crowd of robots, cradling baby robots, which makes no sense. And just robots pretending to bang each other in one box. And then a fucking naked dude gets birthed out of all of the robots. And
This
then that's
cannot
when the
continue,
game
Jason.
and then
This
that's
cannot
when the
continue.
game starts.
Yeah. That part's great, and it's one of those things. In hindsight, it's definitely goofy on the first run, but then the way that it works into the greater context of the narrative and the themes of the thing, it's here's this goofy ass thing that in actuality is super played straight.
It feels different in B when you do it again, you're coming up on it. It definitely hits different. It's not as goofy, weird, funny as much as it is you kind of are starting to get it at that point.
Mm-hmm. Jason, I meant to ask you this: when you started out the B route, did you spill the bucket?
A couple times.
Okay.
I didn't spill the bucket once.
I tried to jump like a human would.
Spilling the bucket is definitely seeing if people spill the bucket or not is a moment or sequence for.
It's so fucking slow, so you want to try and jump.
I know.
You jump and you spill the bucket.
And you gotta go around the rope. It's profound.
Yeah, I think I spilled it twice.
I love it.
That little twig has big inside energy.
Sean, what's your number 2?
My number 2. So this is I've sort of been condensing this game down across the times I've mentioned it in the visuals and now the story, and now in the story. My number 2 favorite sequence, What Remains of Edith Finch. I'm going to describe what this pastiche is, but not what happens in it. One of the brothers, when you go into his story, it's simultaneously it's this burnout stoner kid, and he's simultaneously working in a fish factory with
you just have to say fishes
with the right stick, and in his daydreams in the left stick, and it's beautiful looking, it's compelling, it really, really sticks with me. And yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore, but play that game. That's
every human being should play Edith Finch. It is profound.
Yeah. For me, it's either the cannery or the bathtub. Those are the two that stick with me so much. With bathtub has Ultimate Froggy in it.
Ultimate Froggy's pretty good.
Where you're it's either cannery or the kite for me.
The kite's a good one too. There's a lot of really good ones in there, but
man, there's something about Peaches that fucking
that's a good one too.
With me, I don't know. They're all so good.
But yeah, I agree. I think the cannery is probably the best one.
It's really the pinnacle of what they're going for with each of those segments.
I think I think that cannery is the best executed, even if it's maybe not my favorite. Cool. Matt, what is your number 2?
Yes, my number 2 is the first time that I beat Nuclear Throne.
A very proud moment.
Yes. So I started playing this game right around the time that it came out on PlayStation, right around the same time that
Oh, man.
Dash did.
Need to change my number 2 to Vlamboozling.
Yeah. So Nuclear Throne on PlayStation used to have this really cool feature where sometimes the game would just crash.
Yeah.
You'd get to the second to last level, or you get to the last level, and you'd get hit one time, and the game would just crash.
And
Right
by
there.
sometimes we mean like 1 in 4.
Yeah, give or take.
So
depends on the day,
because
really.
this is a really like critical bug, you'd think that they would they clearly would fix it really quick since this is a pretty major bug in the game.
Took 9 months to get the
9
first
months to fix
update. For the
it.
first
They had
update.
to gestate the update.
But I mean that notwithstanding, it took me a long.
That's why it's the
fucking
best
time
game
to
ever.
beat the game. It took me probably like I'm almost ashamed to admit this at this point. It took me probably 2 or 3 months of playing this game every day
How
Yeah.
many runs do you
to
expect?
actually.
A couple hundred easily.
Oh, it
A run's
couple
about
hundred easy.
between
I could pull it up right now and see how many times
Wow.
I've played it.
a run is between about
Like
2 and 10
I'm kind of
minutes.
tempted to actually.
And it took me probably 10 to 15 hours to get my first win.
And it took me so much fucking longer
Yeah.
than that.
And I
I
remember
don't
like
like that
I
it did.
watching you get better at it. Like you were improving, and like watching that was really, really fun.
I helped you get the achievement for getting the character with 2 HP, which is 1 hit from just about any enemy in the game, to the final room before I beat the game.
Yeah.
I helped you get melting to the throne before I beat the game, which is probably one of the harder achievements in the game.
Yeah, when I finally went through and did that on the Switch version, and it's like I'd have to like look at my Switch time and my fucking PS4 time to like add it up, but like we've probably got like 60, 70 hours in that.
Oh,
I think I haven't even beaten it, and I put like
more than
15
that.
hours into
It is like even by
I've
like
got
roguelike
so much
standards,
more
that
time
game
than
is
that.
pretty fucking difficult. Like it's not
I
the
gotta
hardest
say, that,
roguelike out there, but it's up there.
You're really selling
Yeah.
me on it with this. I like the sound of that.
Nuclear Throne's
I would
hard as
highly
shit,
recommend
but
it.
it gets to the point where
Don't
now
play it
when,
on PlayStation.
when Matt and I play it, we don't play to beat it. We play to see how far we can go, because you can there's a series of secret things you can do to make the game never end, and you play for score at that point.
I see.
Like,
I
I've had
have done 3,191 runs on PlayStation.
Oh my god.
Like
Let's see, 462 hours on PlayStation alone.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
that's
Wow.
more than me.
That's almost
Nuclear
as much
Throne-
time as I put into Smash Bros.
Nuclear Throne is a very good video game.
More like
Very
Nuclear
fucking
Throne.
good. Got 'em.
Actually, Hunter
I-
just dissuaded me from
I
getting
haven't
it.
put that much time into any game except for Call of Duty 4.
Also, I only have 63% of the unlocks, so there's a lot.
To be fair,
this
like
game.
a lot of the back end of the unlocks are really stupid, but that's
Well,
not the
yeah,
good
I
one,
mean
though.
it's basically just costumes and crowns, but
It's like I've got all the costumes, but I'm not
Regardless.
getting all the crowns and shit.
no, the crowns suck. Most
Hunter,
of
what's
them.
your number 2?
Are you boys ready for weeb shit?
It's
Hell
honestly
yeah,
we
it
haven't
had
had
finally
much-
happened.
we haven't had a whole lot tonight, so
So it's the last fight in Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final, specifically on the not edgelord route, where you and your friends are, in order to get a better future for humanity, you decide you have to kill the Old Testament God because he's a huge asshole.
True, he'll turn you into a pillar of salt.
I really like games where you have to kill the old gods.
Fall to the earth.
And so the whole time as you're fighting, you and your friends are just like essentially denying his power and existence because of some story bullshit. Humanity's got observation. They made demons because they're like, oh, this happened, so this is clearly a god doing this, and that's how the god was formed. And then the more belief and faith a god has, the more powerful he is. That's why Yahweh is the strongest.
Santa Claus rules.
It's Yahweh or the highway.
Yeah,
Yep.
which, side note, real cool bit, the level cap used to be 99, and he was the only enemy in the game to go above that. But anyway,
What level is he?
he's like 105 or something.
Fuck.
99 and a half.
Yeah.
The whole time, and on the not edgelord route, you're fighting him with two teams. The first consisting of whatever team you've made with the main character from Final. And then after you do your turn with that, it swaps to the other team, which is the main characters from the original Shin Megami Tensei 4. And then they do their turn, and it swaps back to your turn. Or, well, you control both, but it just swaps in between the two parties because you're teaming up to try to kill God.
Oh, so are the different Smit 4 games like distinct games?
Yeah, Final
okay.
takes place during one of the end routes of the original one.
Because I thought it was like Kingdom Hearts Final Mix.
No, they haven't done something that stupid yet.
That's Persona's territory. That's where they get that out.
Yeah, instead they released the game on a console and then release it again 2 years later with 10 extra hours of content for full
And sucker,
price.
and you got to be a fucking idiot to buy that shit. I don't know why anyone would fucking do that. Fuck, people like that are stupid.
But yeah, you
Goddamn
beat this
dupers.
first form, and then the whole observation thing. You essentially corrupt God back to the original, like lesser God demon form that he was before, or that people think he was before he became God, and then you fight him in that form. And that's weeb shit time.
You know, anime shit.
It's good shit.
Ryan, give me some sweet Western action for your number one.
Yeah, I know you know what it is.
I don't think I actually do, but
it's number one, right? That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Cool. This moment, I think, does kind of, it's another indicative of the generation thing. Something I think was done really well within this game was dropping little clues of something, like just enough that like you don't focus on it, but you kind of notice it, and then it pays off in a really big way. And it's the tuberculosis scene in Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're playing through the game, and Arthur, I think it's right around in like chapter 2, he just kind of starts coughing, but it's like the West is dusty. Arthur's a coughing guy now.
Early on.
Yeah, I guess Arthur's a dude who just maybe needs a hawk loogies or something like that. But then you're riding into Saint Denis, and he just starts having a fit, and he passes out because he's coughing so hard. And then there's like, yeah, you have tuberculosis, where they're basically just like, you're gonna die by the end of this game. And I don't know.
They say that to him. It's wild.
Yeah.
There's
really break
something
the fourth
game.
wall.
There's something about just like the protagonist of, your big Western epic dying with such a whimper.
Yeah.
Like compared to John Marston's fucking Blaze of Glory, like there's something amazing about that choice.
Yeah. And I remember like hearing him coughing. I'm like, if this motherfucker has tuberculosis. And man, I don't know. It like hit hard. You're watching them just kind of deal with like, fuck, I'm going to die. And I'm just here wasting my life. And I don't know. It was a really cool moment, a really good story thing, and just a huge game that like I would expect it to be more Red Dead 1 where it ends on a bang. You got all this like bombast and all that stuff. And no, this is just like, he's got gunk lungs and
he's got gunk on his stuff.
There's also like a really good moment with it if you were playing like High Honor and being, not a dick, and you did some of the side quests. Like after he realizes like, I'm gonna die, there you meet like a nun that you helped out earlier, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on a mission to Mexico just like I've always wanted. And he's like, they talk, and he has just like a rare moment of vulnerability and weakness while talking to her, just because like the whole game he's just rough, tough, kind of closed off, and then while talking to her he just admits like, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy just how good and subtle and like downplayed so much of the stuff in Red Dead 2 is compared to the game they released before it, which was like GTA 5, which is just like over the top and yelling and all that stuff. And this is just it's so mature, I think, coming from Rockstar.
Yeah. But
Also-
I mean, but also it's like they also wrote Red Dead 1, which is debatably the game of the previous generation,
I'd agree with that. I
if
think
not,
it
and
is.
it's like one of the best written games of all time.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
that, it goes toe to toe with any other written medium.
Yeah.
One real quick before we move off this, Arthur's got his journal. If you actually look at the journal and read his entry after that little scene, he wrote down that he actually does feel more at peace now, and that he has less to no regrets with the fact that he's going to die after that little nun scene.
What a good game.
I wish a lot of things about that game could be different, but I don't deny its strengths.
Hi, kitty.
So my number one, I don't know if this is going to be like a wild card choice as my number one, because I've really thought long and hard about this category. It's like the things
Monopoly, pass and go.
the things like Ending E, the things like Glory Kills, the things like there were a lot of like I guess things that really stuck out to me. But when I think about one of the things that I probably enjoyed the most over the past generation, I think one of the consistent things, much like kind of Sean brought up, is I think that Jackbox really brought me some of the most joy out of any other thing this past generation. And so once I kind of got into that mentality, it was like, well, what's the best Jackbox game? And I think that there's like a general accessibility to Quiplash. Like, I mean, I played Quiplash with Melissa's parents. It's a really good one to just kind of like bust out and play with people. Played with people at the office. But the drawing games are also really good. Like, I like me a nice Drawful, a TKO, despite their kind of flaws. I like me some Madverse City. Those are all some really, really fucking good ones. But
Really? Queeple huh?
Yeah, I mean, Zeepeldome is probably the best moment or sequence of the previous generation. But I can't think of a consistently better time that I have had over the past generation than with Faking It. I think Faking It is damn near perfect. The only exception being
Make a face.
the Make a Face game. But you don't even have to pick that one. And we have a perfectly fun amount of time without it.
Don't talk.
I just think that Faking It's a perfect goddamn game. And
once you apply the house rules to it.
Yeah, it's like you need to tweak it a little bit, but it's I have had so much it got to the point where it's like, okay, we're gonna play some Jackbox and everything, but we're gonna intersperse Fake, like we're never not gonna play Faking It. There will be some games that we'll skip sometimes.
Yeah.
There will be some things like that, but we never ever will skip Faking It, because even though we've played it so much, even though we have like everyone dialed into we know everyone well enough to make it challenging, but not enough to make it too easy. Assuming we don't talk on the first round.
At least during the first round.
We selectively follow that rule.
It's got a little bit of that.
Almost never.
That game makes me think that we would have a really good time playing Among Us.
Yeah, and that I
like
completely
something about
agree.
one person lying, you know.
Yeah,
Or
but
two people.
it's never going to pop up and ask how many times you've seen Lord of the Rings and
like
Among Us. And I'm certainly not going to hold up 10 when everyone knows I've never seen them. And then I have to...
Like, if I had to boil it down to a moment or sequence, it's the obvious lie in Faking It. It's the time when the person has no idea and they are just committed to it. Like, they are going to apply like the stonest of face, but then everyone immediately knows. And you have to like look around the room and maybe everyone doesn't notice it at first. And then it's
How many times have you worked out this week? 8.
and I just
trying to defend it.
Yeah, that's the other one, is when the person tries to like adamantly say, no, this is true. Like they try to haggle.
Jason is really
you
good
do
at
start
that
to
part.
find out crazy things about your friends where it's just like, how many car accidents have you been in? And somebody's like, this many. And you're like, you've had a car for a year. We know that that's wrong. And then it's like, well, there's that one on 35, that one on 70, that one on Truce. And you're just like,
it's like people's ability to improvise fake shit that they've done in our group is absolutely profound.
That's why we all do improv.
Yes, and
and it's like, and I think like it's even with the improv games that are in those ones, like we never read, like I don't think that any game in any Jackbox has resonated truly as much as Fakin' It has, with this particular friend group. And it's probably the most consistently I have like been floored laughing and having a good time over the past generation.
Yeah.
That I'm going to pass to Jason's number one moment or sequence.
My number one is the thing we're going to talk about in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
oh,
I
okay.
agree.
Yeah, that's a really good moment and or sequence.
Sean, don't fuck us on this.
Yeah, Sean, you better, like, he played near for this. Like, you can get.
Yeah, I'm putting it on my to-do list. Hey, I started it this week.
Yeah.
Is
But
that
we will
Control?
say at this moment, it is the
Control's only like-
part in
It's only
Control.
like 15 hours.
It
You
is-
won't have to do the DLC.
It
or
is
anything for
the
it.
part in Control that's not Ryan's part in Control from the Game of the Year podcast.
I don't even remember what I said.
You wanted the one with the other song
Oh, yeah.
that involves Mr. Alan Wake. So yeah,
Shit.
Sean, we're gonna pass it off to you for your number one then.
My number one, I struggled with this of whether I should put it, but I put PT as my number one. Just the
Ooh, yeah.
entire everything around PT.
Yeah.
Jareth.
Exactly.
Dash and I played that.
No,
And,
you
like-
and Melissa played PT while I was under a blanket in the background.
Oh, that's right. And there's a part where you need to say out loud, like it's the final puzzle. You say out loud the name of the thing. There's a table in between me and Melissa, and it's like I think it had your headset on it or something, and I was just like, Jareth, just to make sure it heard it,
Like,
and it didn't hear it.
The game itself, the little ARG around it, how quickly everybody solved it, the like drama and sheer disappointment of like the reveal, and then the utter decimation of Konami. It's something that I will like blather about to people who don't care about video
I'm
games.
so glad I was there for all of it. Like
Mhm.
like I feel like I was really part of something, or I got to be there during when something really special was taking place.
And
I only got to play
only-
it once.
Yeah, I was introduced to it after the fact when you guys came and visited me in Lawrence.
I am still bummed as hell that my hard drive swap did not work off my PlayStation that had PT on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad I got to play it because I still think that might be one of the best horror games of all time. Still,
It's a tight little
it's just a
package.
little demo. Yeah,
It's maybe one might say too tight and too little. Too
Nah.
Too packaged.
R.I.P.
RIPT.
Ooh, boxes.
PT good. I mean I hate horror stuff, but I constantly admire how cool horror games innovate the entire medium. But
Yeah.
goddamn, I do not get my rocks off getting scared, and that game is very spooky.
I'm someone who
It's
really,
really
really
spooky.
wants to like horror games, but games give me the choice to not go through the door. So I'm always like, I always make the logical choice of turning off the game.
Yeah, I do not like being scared, and Jesus Christ, that game's scary.
But the ones that I can get through, like, I eventually got myself through part of Amnesia. I loved that. Alien Isolation, PT. The ones that I can't get through, I really, really, really like, because I do think it. A movie can't scare you like a game can, because you're complicit.
You're in it.
Yeah.
Sean, you should try Resident Evil 7.
I
being scared?
know that I can't.
It's PT.
Like, I've watched the beginning of a walkthrough, and I can't.
Sean, you should try Resident Evil 7 in VR.
I guess, Sean, can you take it from someone who also doesn't like being scared? It's not that bad.
From what I've seen, I'm already like
Yeah.
I know that I can't.
I played a little bit of it, and it got to the point where I was watching walkthroughs of the level before I played the level, just so it wouldn't scare me.
I got into the police station in RE2 Remake, and I have never been able to get myself.
Oh,
to
that
turn it
game's
on.
not scary though.
But like I said, I'm
Okay,
very.
that's what I'm dealing with here. Okay.
Because again, the game presented me the choice: play it or not, and I made the choice. The characters in a movie can't.
Look, Dash. When that trucker took a bite out of that burger,
The burger looks so good though. The burger tech is ridiculous. Matt, talk to me about your burger tech. Talk to me about your number one.
All right, my number one is 2 words. Ape in.
Ape in is profound.
So here, I especially like it because we joked about it
Yeah.
the whole time.
There's something about a game like responding to it's like no, fuck you.
It's like the game had cookies turned on, and we're just like, oh, what if it ape in? What if
you aped in?
What if you?
Well, you
aped
know,
into the
it's
thing?
one of the 3 people who made it was just like, what's our
What if
sequel?
Ape
Ape in, and then somebody's like, fuck, I gotta program that now.
I love the way that played out,
Mm-hmm.
where we all just fucking joked about it, and then Dash is like, so
you can ape in.
here's a fun fact: you can in fact ape in.
They truly
And
thought of
it
everything.
It floored me, and I love it. I don't necessarily think that the ape in mode is as fun.
Yeah,
as
it's
Ape
not,
Out
but it's just
regular,
funny.
But it was hilarious, and I loved it.
Hunter,
Yeah.
Finished
ape into the first position.
Okay. So there's this
pole position.
I was thinking also of pole position.
There's this
That's Hunter's game of the
there's
generation.
this game series. It came out with a new version or a new installment.
If you say Xenoblade.
No, it's
Fire Emblem.
They added VR to it.
Ah, okay.
And,
Petros.
No, it's weeb shit.
no, it's definitely weeb shit. It's Ace Combat, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I wrote rotating for the first time in Ace Combat VR because I
Danny
remember.
throws up.
No, I remember specifically when I did it the first time. I did a barrel roll, and immediately a very loud, like not prompted. I was not doing a bit. Just as soon as the plane started turning, just.
I think the VR is at its absolute best when it gets you to feel physical sensation. There's a couple games that do that really well, like Drive Club, with like when you're trying to crash a car into a wall. But like Ace Combat with the flight stick with the VR headset is an otherworldly experience. Like the fact that it can trick your brain
really want to
so
try
well.
As someone who's never done VR, is there any cheap way into it, or is it all insanely expensive?
Define insanely expensive, because
or Oculus Quest or whatever.
Yeah, so the Quest, depending on where you draw your line with expensive.
I don't know where I draw my line.
You can get an Oculus
like
Quest for
$200.
$400.
Is it that much?
Well, you can maybe find a refurbished Quest 1, but don't fuck with that at this point. Just get a Quest 2.
I mean, 400 might be. It's too much for if I've never tried it, but 200, I like the sound of that.
I mean, if you can find a used Quest 1, like maybe give it a shot. You also have to be really cool with Facebook controlling all of it.
Yeah,
because not only do you have to log in with a Facebook account and tie all your purchases to your Facebook account, people, if Facebook for whatever reason thinks your account is like a bot account or not real, it will lock you out, brick your Quest, and take away all your purchases.
I don't mind that.
So don't be a robot.
Yeah, don't be a robot. But the Quest is probably the easiest way to get into it, and it's also one of the best headsets. I want to buy a Quest really, really badly, but it's hard to justify when I already have the PlayStation set up.
Actually, I'm just going to try your PlayStation setup next time I'm in town.
Hey, Sean,
okay, yeah, sure, that'll happen.
The Quest 2 is $299 on Amazon.
Oh, shit. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, no, that's... I would honestly just get a Quest 2 because the Quest 2 isn't going to have any wires to it, which is one of the biggest problems with the PSVR. Is you have to.
Sean found dead, strangled by wire.
It's really tough to like cable.
He tried to look behind him one too many times.
And
just one time.
Also, based on your build compared to like Danny, there's a lot of stuff with the PSVR where you have to like give it the benefit of the doubt. Like you kind of can't try to push it.
Oh, I thought you meant like our physical build, because Danny and I are identical.
No, that's what I mean. Danny will often just get outside the functional range doing normal stuff. because the PSVR is working off of PlayStation 3 Move technology. Like the PSVR is the worst VR thing, but it's still great.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Hunter. I'm sorry I derailed yours so
That's
bad.
okay. I was only just gonna mention Danny's whole reaction to it too. Just how
Yeah.
he played it for like 5 minutes, took off the headset, and then could not move from his chair for the next 15.
Yeah, he was
That's really selling me. I gotta say.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's some of the best stuff in it, but unfortunately, like, you're not going to get Ace Combat on Oculus Quest. You're only going to be able to get that on PlayStation. Like the Resident Evil VR only on PlayStation.
Isn't Ace Combat VR on the Steam version now?
You need a Vive. So okay, at that point, you could like side load your Quest with some software to get into
How can I play Beat Saber?
Quest. Do it on the Quest. Do not
Okay,
play
that's all
Beat Saber on anything but the fucking Quest.
Just want to play Beat Saber.
Beat Saber's amazing.
Beat Saber's sick.
Beat Saber looks like shit, and then you play it, and then it's somehow like the best VR game.
Crab
Yeah.
Rave.
Cry Brave. Yeah, Sean, if you want to have a discussion with me about VR, we can take that offline. I happen to know a lot about this
Let's do that. I realize everybody's super tired, and I'm like, let's get into the weeds.
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's
Not where
but yeah,
Sean is.
so Ace Combat 7 VR is a very good moment or sequence. I had a great deal of fun showing people that as well as playing it. It's super difficult to play, much like being a fighter pilot, I imagine.
I don't think I actually have never done the Ace Combat thing. I think I played all the other
I haven't either.
It's
random
super
crap on
cool.
there.
It's pretty cool. Like
do you
it
have
makes,
the
Yeah,
flight
I still
stick?
really want
Mhm.
to try that.
I bought a flight stick for Ace Combat.
One last thing for me about it. I ended it one of the times playing it by crashing into the ground, and my asshole puckered so goddamn hard.
Like the VR is at its absolute best when you can actually trick your brain into thinking the stuff's real. And Ace
Mhm.
Combat, it's very easy to do that because you're going to be sitting down in a cockpit. Same thing with Drive Club. It gets harder to do when you have to stand up. But those are all very good moments and sequences, boys. But with that, I think we're going to have to call
They
it
were
for this
momentous
episode.
and sequential.
I'm definitely
Um,
gonna. You guys have convinced me to play some games. I gotta say,
With the next
Please play
category,
Subnautica, Sean. I
That's-
really want to
that's-
talk to someone
you've
about
really
it.
sold me on that one.
the next
Okay,
cat-
but Beginner's Guide and Inside are both like 2 hours apiece.
Yeah, she's getting frustrated.
the next category that we will be hitting is going to be Best Remaster, which is kind of a
Right.
shitty cop-out category, but we want to cover it anyway because there are enough games that we would like to talk about that are in
Is
it.
this? I think it's a good category for this specific discussion because this is kind of the generation of remasters.
Yeah, there's been
That's
like a fucking
honestly
million of
maybe
them.
the only reason I'm cool with doing it for the generation. It's something that works a lot better in the context of a game of the year, less so for generation. But we will be having the discussion nonetheless, as we all have remasters that we want to talk about. So until then, we go watch Georgia for the next. Well, no, it's going to be fine by the time this comes
Yeah,
out.
Georgia the Jungle.
Yeah.
Our favorite.
Go watch Georgia the Jungle.
Go watch Jungle to Jungle.
Go watch
Eat-
Peach Stocks.
Eat a peach for hours.
Julian, I'm your peach.